Greetings and welcome to the Political Ferret Show. Today we're gonna talk a bit about abortion, and the reason for that is that in Austria right now we have a lot of petitions running around abortion, and there is also a Volksbegehren, a question to the people in the end, and if enough people say yes, we want, this is very important for us, the parliament has to talk about it. So the thing is, there are two petitions that say pretty much that they do not want abortion in Austria anymore. So how is the situation right now? Well, since the 70s we have a solution that says pretty much that abortion is absolutely legal and no question asked if it is done in the first 3 months. After that, it can only be done when there is some medical need there. So, and there is a third version when the start of the pregnancy started when the pregnant woman was under 14 when she had sex that led eventually to the pregnancy. Then it is also okay to abort the child at a later point. So this is what we have right now, and there are, as I said, two petitions that say we want to change that. We want one of these petitions says pretty much they want to get completely rid of abortions, and the other just says okay, but in between when you say you want an abortion and you get the abortion, you have some time to think about it, and this time should be mandatory. And our conservative government said okay, this might be something that we can do. So there is, of course, a lot of outcry who say, no, absolutely not. Of course, again, inclusive of some people who say, oh, the abortion law right now, this is not enough. We want abortion to the very last minute. And especially the young socialists say this right now. And they do not go so far that they say that it is okay to kill a 5-year-old child because it is your child. But they say to the very last minute, even to across the point where the child could live on its own, abortion should be okay. So the thing is, what is my stance on that? I'm okay with the solution that we have right now. From my point of view, something is alive when it is born. On the other hand, it is also alive when it comes out of the mother and it could be sustained as a human being and could live on its own. So in the last 2 months we are somewhere in a gray area. So I think this version with the first 3 months is kind of okay-ish. Yes, I see the moral point that it is already a living human being and it is killing, but on the other hand, it is not able to sustain its own life. So it is part of you to this point. It stops being part of you when it can sustain its own life. So this is my point of that. So I'm somewhere in between. I'm not absolutely pro-abortion for every case. And I'm not absolutely pro-life to say, okay, every child has to be born. And the main reason why I'm for abortion on a principle level is that those people who want an abortion but can't do it because it is illegal, these children are not loved. And children who are not loved by their parents, especially their mother, tend to become very, very terrible people. And I think the world would be better if we have a little bit less terrible people, and more terrible people will not make the world a better place. So one interesting thing in this regards is the left. Because one of the key aspects of the left is that they say the family is bad and the state is good. For those people, the state is better than the family. And one of these reasons is, from my experience, because I have a lot of left-leaning friends, a lot of them come from terrible families. Not a lot of them did get hurt and pushed and stroke and so no, that's not. Most of them just got neglected. So for these people there was no father, or for others there was a father, but he was never at home, and the mother also not, because they had to work or they wanted to work in a lot of cases, and work had a higher priority than the child. For these people, somebody else was more important than the family, and this was often a nanny or a teacher or kindergartner or something like this. So for these people, the institutions, the state, was warmer than the family. So these people say, if we get rid of the family, we get rid of these terrible things. On the other hand, I do not want to say that every conservative comes from a wonderful family, far from it. But the conservative approach is that the family is warm and the state is cold. And this reflects pretty much on what they say. They want to push the family in the forelight and do not want to push the state. They want to push back on the state. They say the family is the core unit, and this is the important part and not the state. Left-wingers, on the other hand, say no, we need more state. The state is very important. So if you go now and see who has the abortions, it tends to be the left-leaners. And if you look who has the children, well, it is again more the conservatives who have children. Most of the left-leaning people that I know do not have children, and those who have children have one. And the thing is, what I heard pretty often was that they then say, it's not that I do not like children, it's just that I do not think that I should bring them into existence and should care for them. So it is very consistent in these regards, because it's the same approach that they have for money. They say, oh, it's not that I do not like money per se, I like money, but I do not think that I should earn it. And that's the point. Left-wingers do not want to take responsibility, therefore they have no children. And therefore those are the people who have more abortions in the end. So I come from a left-leaning family. My mother was absolutely radical left-wing. But this was another time. There was not really even the possibility to have an abortion in this regard. I mean, it was possible, but it was a time when having children was not completely uncool then, and it was a certain requirement in this time and in this day and age. While right now it is quite cool and left-wing and very progressive to not have children, because there are already too much persons on Earth, and we have to do something against overpopulation, and oh my god, the world will end in 12 years, and so on and so on. So the thing is, when you now say you do not have just the chance to not become pregnant, you also have the chance to end a pregnancy if it happens to you. You reduce a lot of children from a left-leaning field, which means that the conservatives have even more children. And with conservatives, I include the Muslims. So do not get me wrong here. This is not the left and the Muslims on the one side and the conservatives on the others. No, the Islam pretty much behaves like every other conservative movement. They have children, and they have a lot of children. So it ends up right now that the left dies out by its own design, because the left-leaning families have lower and lower birth rates. I mean, right now I heard this statistics. It's about that the conservatives in America have 40% more children than the left-wingers. And it becomes more and more and more. And the thing is not just that you lose the people who are born in a left-leaning family, because as you can see on my example is that you do not have to stay with what you were born into. But the next thing is that if you pretty much get rid of all the people who end up in a family where they are not loved and where they do not love the family, but they love then instead the state or a gang, whatever they can find, you lose pretty much the whole pool of left-wingers, because those people who say, yes, the family is the problem and the state is the solution, are those people who have to have negative experiences with the family. And if you abort all these people, you kill the recruitment pool of the left-wingers to a certain degree. So abortion is strange in this regard. It's really quite strange in this regards, because I would say if we look from that in about 2 generations or 3 generations, people will say then that the left aborted itself because they were absolutely for abortion. On the other hand, I see this as a chance for the good families, for those people who willingly said, yes, we want to have children. We thought about that. While on the other hand, those people say, oh my God, it's happened. Well, we can go rid of that, and then the child just disappears and they never think about that. This is a chance for the family. So as strange as it sounds, but I'm absolutely convinced that abortion is a chance for strengthening the family and not for the destruction of the family, as some right-wingers would state. So, but tell me what you think about it in the comment section. I know it is a very hard and very tough topic, but I really want to listen to what you have to say about that. So tell me in the comment section, like, share and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.